Greetings fellow earthlings, and welcome to this Cossacks 3 prediction video, which I guess the possible nations and the unique units they'll possibly have, and also a possible release date for Cossacks 3. I may be wrong with this, it's just my guess. The gameplay that you will be seeing throughout this video will be between me in light blue and Saba in red. It's just mostly one big battle. There is also Life in blue, however he had to sadly leave for some reason. So, here we go. Okay, so some possible nations to come up. In this I will show you a table with all this, with the Ukrainian and then Russian translation as well, because I know lots of people who view my videos are Russian and Ukrainian. However, there might be a few mistakes, so don't blame me, I was only using Google Translate. But the obvious ones that will be in this are the Ukraine, are Russia, France and Sweden. We already have confirmation on Sweden and France and the Ukraine through their soundtrack releases. Russia, it's just meant to be there with the Cossacks really. Now, for the other nations, because we're only getting 12, and then I believe I read something that we'll be getting 8 later, but I'll go through that later. I believe we will also get Prussia in the initial release. Prussia because it's the main German city-state at the time, well, it was more of a kingdom by then, so Prussia will have to be in the Cossacks initial release. If not, then definitely second release when they release another 8 nations. But another one that I'm expecting is either Austria or Hungary. Now in Cossacks Back to War and previous ones before that, both Austria and Hungary have been in, however due to them being very similar in many ways and very close, we'll only get one, and then in the other release where we get the other 8, that's when we'll get the other. Another one that has got to be in here with other Cossacks nations is the Ottoman Empire, or as called in Back to War, the Turks. Now there might be Algeria in there as well, but more than likely it'd be the Ottomans on the initial release due to them being closer to Ukraine and the Cossacks. Also, I expect one Italian state in the initial release and another one, possibly even 2 in the second release where we have another 8 nations. That's if we do get another 8 nations. I could be wrong with that. Now the nations that I believe will be coming up in the Italians are Piedmont, Sardinia, as what came up earlier in previous Cossack games, Venice, which has also come up before, or possibly the Papal States, or the Kingdom of Sicily, or at that time it could have been Kingdom of Naples, maybe even Tuscany, or you know, I don't know, but more than likely, if I had to guess, I would say either Venice or Piedmont, Sardinia. Also, Spain, I believe, will be in there along with Portugal as well. 2 brilliant nations at that time, not so much involved with the Cossack side of the world, but in Back to War they were here as well, and in European wars, so they'll probably bring Spain and Portugal into this as well, just to get more Western European fans into this Cossacks game. And also England will have to be in here as well. They might call it Britain, but more than likely be England, as we did before. And finally, for the 12th nation, Poland. Now, Poland has got to be in here because it was part of the Cossacks world, so I'm quite confident Poland will be in Cossacks 3. However, it might also be called Poland-Lithuania, because that's what they were at that time. Poland and Lithuania joined together. Just a bit of history knowledge there. So it's probably will have Poland, but it might be Poland-Lithuania. So you can see the table here with all the English nations, then you have the Ukrainian nations, and then the Russian ones. Actually they're all the same nation, but just translated. Please tell me if I've made any mistakes, because I was only using Google Translate, and that does make many mistakes. Now, of course, I could be wrong with this. I have made many mistakes before. Definitely made a lot of mistakes before. But this is just my prediction. I could be wrong. We might bring in the Kingdom of Antarctica, China, and America. I highly doubt it, but you never know. However, more than likely it will stay in Europe, involving Ottomans and Algeria as well. But now there is belief of a second release. I haven't actually checked this out. They might have a second release of 8 extra nations, possibly as DLC, which could be free or you might have to buy it, I don't know. But anyway, if these nations are released, then my predictions are Denmark as one of them. Denmark, at this time on Denmark and Norway, it was quite influential in Scandinavia, and if Sweden is there, then Denmark sort of have to be there as well. They just go together quite well at that time. Now I said either Austria or Hungary will appear in the original 12 nations. However, if we do get another 8 nations, then I believe I will choose the other one. So eventually, I believe Austria and Hungary will both join the list of nations and they will both be there. Now there is also Bavaria and Saxony. We'll more than likely get Prussia on the initial release, however Bavaria and Saxony, 2 of the brilliant German nations, will have to be involved due to their role they played. Mostly later on in a way, but also earlier. It's history is quite weird in Germany with all the different city-states. But Bavaria and Saxony more than likely will be there. Now also I expect another Italian state. Could be either Venice or Piedmont, depending on what came up in the original 12 nations. Or who knows, we might have just one united Italy and a united Germany. I highly doubt it, but it's possible they might just go for that. Now here's a strange one. They might bring in either Scotland or Ireland. These were not in European wars out of war or back to war, nor were they in Napoleonic Cossacks, but that's because they didn't really exist back to it. Yeah, let's mix up again. So we might have Scotland or Ireland in this. That'll be interesting because of how they are near England. Now the maps won't work the same as that, but it'll just be interesting. Now you can get Scottish units in the game, Cossacks back to war, because if you're going to the 18th century as England, you can train Highlanders. Yep. And also you can get bagpipers as well. So Scottish units can be trained in back to war, but hopefully they'll just have one Scottish nation or one Irish nation. I doubt they'll go for Wales because it's a bit smaller, but still brilliant nation, and I would hope to see them, but more than likely it'll be Scotland and Ireland. Now I talked about we will have the Ottomans more than likely in the original 12 nations, however with the extra 8 we may also see a return of Algeria. Algeria is a brilliant nation, especially in Cossacks back to war. I do love playing as Algeria, the Ottomans as well, so they bring some interesting new units, new buildings to the game, so I do really hope to see Algeria. Now as the final one to the extra 8, I was a little bit unsure. In Cossacks back to war they had Switzerland, however they did play many major roles, and it was only until 1815 that they signed their what's it called, their neutrality pact thing. So Switzerland might come up, they might not, but seeing as though they came on back to war, I had to put them in as a final nation just as a guess. If we don't get Switzerland, then we might get the Dutch. I do hope to see the Dutch. I actually forgot to put them in the table, so I do hope for Dutch or Netherlands, whatever you want to call them. Holland possibly. I do hope they come up. They might actually replace Switzerland. So now for people who just want to read the table, or my Ukrainian viewers or my Russian viewers, here are the nations, of course English, Ukrainian and Russian. Of course there might be some mistakes, I don't know. So these are possible 8 nations, but the Dutch might also be there as well, so watch out for that. Okay, now we have been told that there are going to be 12 nations to start off with, and also over 70 new units, well not new units, but 70 different types of units. So by doing some calculations, by finding out averages, of course, if you're a mathematician, this isn't really that hard. I found out that every single nation should have an average of 3 units, 3 unique units, that is. Of course, they all have the pikemen, musketeers, but some units, such as the Ukraine, have the Cossack. Some will have, I don't know, their own type of priest, their own type of peasant. I'm struggling to think of unique units right now. Oh, my mind's just gone blank. Well, the Ukraine have, of course, a hetman as well. Poland have their own unique pikemen. Turkey and the Ottomans. Turkey are the Ottomans, so they have the janissary with their 17th century rifle musketeer type of thing. So each unit, I'm getting my words completely mixed up right now. Each nation should have an average of 3 unique units, and here is a translation. This is only a guess, so it's not certain. Sorry if the translation is wrong. I'm just using Google Translate, as I've said before. And now it is time to guess the release date. We got information from 2015 and possible talk of it being released in the 4th quarter of 2015, that means October to December 2015. It is now almost the middle of 2016 and we haven't got any games yet. They have released information on beta testing coming in, so that means they're definitely close. But we haven't got much information. So, if we had to guess a release date, we've heard it will be the 4th quarter of 2015, probably we're in 2016 now. So I have 2 guesses here. My first guess is that it will come out in early July or possibly late July or early August, around that summer area, so that when the summer holidays start, as I think they have those in Ukraine and Russia, I don't know how your educational system works, but yeah, we could get the game released in summer of July, possibly August, so then we can all buy it and enjoy it over the summer holidays. Another possible release date for Cossacks 3 could be the 14th of October. The 14th of October 2016 is a national holiday in the Ukraine because it is National Cossack Day for the Ukraine on the 14th of October. So that's another possible release date. I know we got some screenshots of the game on the 14th of October as well. So hopefully the actual game might be released on that date as well. But also I hope it is earlier in July and August so that I can enjoy it over the summer holidays. But we'll have to find out when it comes or when we get more information. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It is only a guess. I might make some mistakes. There might have been some translation errors, of course, as well. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope it's opened your mind to what could come out, and bye.